want to welcome everyone to my channel, Rexter Rising. My name is Rex. My friends call me Rexter. I want to talk about politics, truth in media, and what we can do to save our country. One of the things I thought I'd like to talk about is that I hear the term fascism used all around in the media. And I thought the first thing I would do is discuss what fascism is. And so why do people who are angry begin calling out others that disagree with their political philosophy a fascist? Conversations end up with name calling and into any real discussions. For decades, conservatives and presidents have been called or labeled fascists. According to the woke left and liberals, fascists or fascism is on the political right. Is that even so? What is fascism, and what does it mean? Who began the fascist movement? Who was the philosopher? It is agreed upon that the philosopher of capitalism is Adam Smith. The philosopher of Marxism is Karl Marx. If we put out there who began fascism, we'd probably have an overwhelming support for Benito Mussolini, the fascist dictator of Italy. It is not. It is Giovanni Gentili, born in 1875, died in 1944. Even though unknown to most, he is a very influential philosopher of the 20th century. And Gentili, philosophical mentor is Karl Marx. Gentili was a committed socialist. But why is he such an unknown? Perhaps we need to understand who kept and wrote history, and why is Giovanni Gentili missing? Giovanni Gentili is the leftist, and his views on this were not very appreciated by his peers. Giovanni Gentili looked at two types of democracy. Liberal democracy, which is what we have here in the United States. Gentili rejected this democracy due to the centering of what he considered selfishness and individual rights and liberties. Gentili believes in what he called true democracy, which he describes as individuals willing to subordinate themselves to the state. Gentili wanted to create a community that resembles the family, and that we are all in this together. This always sounds good to the left and is repeated constantly. This is a common theme of the left, and likened to what Governor Mario Cuomo said in 1984, spoke at the DNC convention, likened America as an extended family, whereas through the government people take care of each other. Again, through the government, people take care of each other. Then in 2012 DNC convention, the party slogan was "The government was the only thing we all belong to." Gentili taught and believed the fascism is a form of socialism. He believed that for socialism, that fascism was the most workable form. Socialism of Marx mobilizes people on the basis of class. Gentili mobilizes people based on appeal of their national identity and their basis of class. Fascists are socialists with a national identity. German Nazis were fascists, and that meant national socialists, far from being right-wing conservatives. Gentili did not believe in pure private transactions unless those transactions served society. There was no differentiation between private and public interest and would be considered identical. In Gentili's fascist world, the state is in charge, and all persons shall submit to the state. All is required to submit to the state in all matters, economical and everything else. At this point, everything is political. Therefore, the state tells everyone how to think. Let's think of this as groupthink, and we hear it today, don't we? And the state tells us what to do. It was Benito Mussolini that took the Gentili's word and put them into action. Let's quote Benito Mussolini. All is in the state, and nothing human exists or has value outside the state. The modern left seems to parallel Giovanni Gentili's philosophy. The progressives champion the centralized state. The left expands state control over the private sector. This is state-directed capitalism. This is what German and Italian fascists implemented in the 1930s. The left won't mention Gentili in their attempt to combine their conservatism to fascism togetherness. Conservatism wants small government with less control from the state and lets the people have liberty and freedom. Gentili and fascism wants to place the resources of the individual and industry in the service of the centralized state. You probably won't hear of Giovanni Gentili, the socialist and fascist, and most likely never see this outside of this video. Fascists and fascism today is the left, and they will continue to misdirect what truly is fascism. Joy Behar from The View loves to speed dial this term for Republicans and conservatives alike. Either she knows nothing of fascism and is a pawn, or she is of the left and is intentionally providing misdirection for her viewers. I know and cannot read her mind, so I do not know what she believes. But Joy Behar believes the selection review is harmful to the U.S., and it is very opposite these election reviews. They strengthen the liberal democracy. We, the people, are in charge, not the state. I personally welcome the Maricopa County results in any form they provide. Please subscribe and mash the like button. This is my first video. Let's see how far it goes. I also want to say to my son Tyler, who is in Beatty, Nevada, researching the desert tortoise, God only knows how